Camera? Are you going to work camera? Be a team player? Give you a real team player about this? No. Apparently it's not. Okay. Oh, it's really not going to be a team player about this. Okay, that's cool. Oh, I'll just throw that also now. Camera, I need you to do a little bit of a better job. I need you to just put in the work a little bit more. There we go. Also, the game audio is not coming through at all, is it? That's not what I wanted to have happen. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, let me just throw that again. Hold on. I figured it out. I know why it's not coming through. It wasn't plugged in. Also, all this stuff you're seeing right now mostly does not happen in the game. Like that whole thing right there is one text box in the game at the very end, kind of. Also, I hope my Sega Saturn doesn't overheat. Okay. Ooh, why is there so much ghost? I mean, I think we all know why. It's because I do horrible things to capture video. All right, we're just going to start new city. We're not going to use a custom map. If I want to do custom stuff, we're going to have to make it happen. What's it about? Oh yeah, I remember that. We don't care. See, nobody cares. I think it's always set to those, but 25% hills is a lot of hills. These menus eat massive. These menus eat inputs like you for breakfast. You eat inputs for breakfast? No. Hey, JDot. It's happening. We're doing the coziest. Like, the only thing cozier than this would be to play, like, the original Animal Crossing. Doshin is, like, right on par with this. This game and Doshin are basically two sides of the same coin. Do we think? I think we're in it for the long haul. We're starting at 1900. I'm probably going to be streaming like for 3 or 4 hours, maybe. I don't know how, but I've never noticed like old-timey border around the window. Maybe I've just always had like. Also, thank you for stopping by. And maybe it's because it's always been in the overscan before. So this doesn't mean anything the first time. Did you know you're gonna die? I hate to tell you that. I hate to tell you this newspaper, but we're all gonna die. Pause. Secret menu you get by pressing start. So early on, I'm going to switch the newspaper to extra only. Why wasn't it on extra to begin with? You always want extra. Subscription means every 6 months you get a newspaper. That's useless at the start. What speed do we have? We have, oh, there's pause. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. I was guess let's just test to see that this works first. Let's save the city. Seems like it works. I'm going to restart and we're just going to double check that I'm able to load it up. This hardware is 26 years old. 26 years of survival in for a console, that's like being 106 in human years. Like, also, JDot, that means you missed like, I guess so. I guess I didn't post this to Discord. Oh my gosh, Discord finally loaded. Um, but I did like this cool, cutesy, like little starting thing, which is completely wasted now, isn't it? Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that. Actually, no, I don't think anyone saw that. Discord took like 10 bazillion years to load on my monitor computer. Hello, Discord. I have to go tell everyone. Go sing it from the rooftops. That is true. That's a good sign, actually, because we want to load a city. I think this game sucks on the Good Old Games release, and there was like a free version on Origin if you hated yourself enough to have Origin. They used the DOS version. The DOS version's not great. Honestly, I think the two best versions are the PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn version. Enough that if someone is actually going to really play this, I literally think your best bet, because I don't think any emulators play this. Oh my gosh, it worked. I don't know why I'm so surprised. I literally think that your best bet for playing this game in the year 2020 is to go get probably a PlayStation 1 emulator, although I do think the Saturn version is slightly better, and play it using a PlayStation 1 emulator. I literally think that will give you the best experience because the DOS version is not good. Um, and for some reason, the Windows version, not even the Windows version's assets have been used anywhere in the later PC releases. This right here is the same like assets mostly as the PlayStation 1 release, and they are mostly the same. Yeah, I think honestly, if you have that, that's even better. Like just the PC version is it's kind of cool, but it's really missing something. Like something is badly missing. Okay, so so this game is about as close as I get to tryharding anything. I'm just checking out the map because it's a randomly generated map. I gotta say, looking back, this is really impressive for Sega Saturn. Like the fact that any of this works even close to this well on Sega Saturn is really impressive to me. So we have kind of these like two canyons down here. I realize I'm saying that while the FPS is really low. I mostly mean having like a generated world this large is what's impressive to me. Yeah, they have never re-released the Windows version. They only have the DOS version, which is not good. I mean, if it's the only version you have, yeah, it's fine. But it is I'm sure there are worse versions. I'm sure that there's like a version for like the Atari 800 or something that's awful, but I recommend against the DOS versions. It's not even that they're bad. Like it just feels cheap and chintzy compared to the other releases. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build, I think right here next to the river. I don't know. I kind of I'm as much as I'm saying I'm gonna try hard this kind of a part of like the fun for me for in these games is like building like trying to build a grid style thing while having to deal with like the natural land shapes, which I kind of can't do so much on this map unless I start over here. Let's start over here and then we'll work our way like, well, start over here and then work towards the river. Let's do that. So, literally the most efficient thing you can do. Also, I think I've played too much of this over my entire life, where I know like I have all of the controls absolutely memorized. Most efficient way to start. Honestly, there's no reason to do anything other than hydro in this game. We want about 10 of these to start with, maybe more. My vague recollection is spending like $8,000. And by the way, I feel like this should be millions, but $8,000 on power. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. All of those versions, unless they've never re-released the Windows version, because it's for Windows 3. Like you need Windows 3.1. It does not work on Windows NT. Like you need Windows XP or like Windows 2000 to play it. It stopped working starting in Vista. So like, yeah, which is unfortunate. And they've never bothered to go fix it. I kind of get why, because EA owns them is why. Yeah, that's the reason. And we all know what EA means. This is probably way. I think this is more power than I need, but one kind of funny thing in this game is that nothing has any maintenance costs except for in some way. Oh, EA doesn't care about anyone or anything. EA's motto is fart on everyone 100% of the time. Fart on everyone 100% of the time. I'm going to build this and I'm probably going to regret. This doesn't count as water, I don't think. So when you're building, I have every I think this game is completely solved by me. I think I know everything about this game is what I'm realizing. So I think so these water pumps get a boost how much they generate by being placed next to water. It's kind of questionable building them early on because until you build them or until you get to 10,000 citizens, no one cares if you don't have water. And some people have complained about this, but I will tell you from living in rural areas in Alaska, small towns of less than like 1,000 people almost never have like citywide water. People have their own wells. And so this actually makes sense to me, and I think this is on purpose. I've heard that in some versions, it never matters. You never need water, which is a little weird. That probably is a bug, but it makes sense to me that early on you don't need water. That's not necessary. So I kind of want to have like an area that's got like waterfront property built into it because that tends to be really high property value, and especially early on, high property value is very very important. I'm trying to think. So you can't. Nothing will get built more than 3 away from the road, and building everything out to 3 away from the road is a great way to have massive traffic problems unless you planned ahead really really well. In addition to that, so all right, what do I want? I'm kind of thinking like lay road from here to here, right? And then like over here, not there, there, so that I get like the two against the water, then three here, and then maybe come down like this. And I early on, it's almost never a good idea to build rail, but I kind of want to do it anyway. Rail kind of works. Rail, if you try to make it work, you can make it work. If you really try and make it work, you can make rail work in this game. So what I think I'm gonna do early on, also you want to build like I guess at the very start you want to build like a lot of industry and then like 50% industry and 25 residential and commercial. Once that industry fills up, like you basically want to spend all your money first thing. Um, Once that industry fills up, you want to just like match the industry with residential and then keep two like 2 parts industry, 2 parts residential to 1 part commercial as your ratio until you get to like probably like 25,000, and then you start building all three equal, and then beyond that, like at like 100,000, you start building like twice. You start building like as much commercial as everything else. So early on, anyway, we don't want any commercial. Basically, commercial is not a solid investment. So let's start sort of like this. Also, if and when the time comes, I will show a hilarious trick you can use. Hopefully, it doesn't come to this. So let's do this at that would be 3 on the inside. I'm imagining this is like the outside area of like a grid, so this would include the 2 roads on the sides. I kind of want to have like a 4 by 9 on the inside, so you can do like kind of like like boxes cut this way and then like the next one over is cut the other way sort of thing, because that looks cool. And also I think it's fun to do that. And then when you run into like natural like hills and stuff, you have to deal with it somehow. So I'm going to do that. Oh no, so this would be, yeah. So then here we would have it out to like, that's 5, right? Then I'm leaving this open just so I can measure easier. $40. This has got to be like thousands or millions or something. Well, then again, this is in 1900, but the money scale never changes. Okay, no, not like, yes, like that. Ooh, I messed up that one little bit. I spent $10 extra. Yes, like this. $40 then over here. Yeah, a little something like that. Yeah. And then I can probably afford. It's been a little while since I played this, so I used to have like this the start game completely memorized. Trying to like see over here so I can measure this. Yeah, something like this, and then something like that. Yeah. Like alternating, divided each direction sort of thing. Yeah, and so in this case, 2 of these are going to be, I laid it out the exact opposite if I should. 2 of these are going to be industrial. One is going to be residential and one's going to be commercial. And if there's money left over, we build another residential. So this is this is a little bit bad, except that I could build. Actually, I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take us to about 5,000 left, and then we're going to start building services. 5,000 should be enough. You don't actually need like police station, fire station early on, because you can pass ordinances that basically mean that for a small city, you don't need those things. Do I want to do this? I think I do. I think I do want to do it like that. And that's got massive traffic problems. Let me think that through a little bit more. So that's why I was thinking like I could do rail. It's kind of tempting to like build the rail up on this ridge to connect over here or something. Or I could just build it like right inside here, which is probably smarter. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do it. Let's do rail. First thing. Bad idea? Probably. I'm probably going to go bankrupt this first time remembering how the start of this game works. That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah. So my memory of this is you're better off very, very high. An area like this will have really, really high property value. You're better off building that as light residential, especially early on. I think that's true. I think. And actually, if you look here, all of these are one away, but people will get mad if they have to live next to the water plant, but we're not going to build a water plant right now, are we? No, we're not. And we'll do something like, let's just do like that at the start. Yeah, a little something like that. Yeah, a little something like that. Although that's, ooh. Well, I just wasted a bunch of money. So what I kind of want to do is like have a train station out here. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. The train station like out here. This could be kind of expensive. This could be risky. This is a bad idea. I never said it was okay to do this. I don't have what it takes. I don't have what it takes. I don't have the emotional fortitude to do what it needs because I'm worried that if I push this in one, it will destroy this. I can't do it. That's a bad idea. Don't what I was about to do there, don't do it. Instead, the easier better decision emotionally. The one that I have the stomach for, that, and then a little something over here like this. I just spent way too much money. Yeah, that's exactly playing The Sims the right way. You know, I really didn't play a lot of Sims, but my mother did. I know I'm weak. I'm emotionally too weak for this game is what I'm proving. Kind of don't want to waste this little bit over here, but you know what? Actually, this is pretty good. I like this. I like this idea because then let's build where the stations should be. This is a massive waste of money and an incredibly questionable investment. I just want to make that clear. I never said this was a smart idea, but it is an idea. So here we are. And I build like this over here. Actually, let's put it like over here. Yeah. Because this is going to be commercial. Let's just zone it now. Zone it now. Let's put the light on this side and then the heavy on the other side. Yeah. Early on, we don't really need that much heavy commercial, so we'll do ultra micromanagement. We'll do that. And similarly, you absolutely need a mixture of light and heavy. Jeez, it's zooming around. The frame rate's too high. This processing is too blast. I can't handle it. And then I guess the rail's going to come out here or something. I don't know. Or it's just going to go all along the inside there. That means I wasted even more money. Good for me. I'm learning, Super Nintendo Chalmers. Okay. Are you ready for this monumental waste of money? Don't be like me. I'm actually going to leave all that empty and just build up to here because there is actually a maintenance cost to this. This is Sega Saturn. This is Sega Ta Sanshiro. Sega Saturn. You must play Sega Saturn. And personally, I think the best version is. I don't want to push one of these because this makes a horrible thing. I think the best version is either this or the PlayStation 1 version. There are pros and cons to both of those versions of the game. Each one has so this version actually has like a progression of tile sets like as you move into the future like so right now we're going to get like the old timey tile set around 1950 you'll switch to the modern tile set which is like what the world actually looks like kind of and then around 2050 you'll switch to the futuristic around 2000 you'll switch to the futuristic tile set. None of the other versions of the game do that. All of them, if you want to change tile set, you have to do it automatically, and none of the others have the futuristic tile set this has. I've never seen like I've never even seen like the ability to download version of that. The PlayStation 1 version, however, actually has a day and night cycle built into the graphics. All these things are totally aesthetic. Like the PlayStation 1 version actually has a day and night cycle, which doesn't do anything, but it is cool. Um, and the Windows version is basically like everything else these versions have, but it doesn't have the tile set or the day-night cycle. But like, if you get the DOS version, the music is absolutely awful. I don't know how they did the music so badly, and I suspect it's because the version of DOSBox they ship it with is configured to like do PC speak or some garbage. And I'm sure that if you were to go into the config files, you could tell it, "Hey, emulate a roll in MT32," and it would sound great or something. But by default, it does not, and it sounds horrifically bad. I don't know how they got it so bad. I don't know how they made it so awful. Yeah. It's a shame that they haven't had a good release of this game in a very long time. You know, it's possible that you can fiddle with the settings and make it a little better, but it doesn't stop the fact that this version, like the PC, the Windows version and the two console versions just have a superior tile set to the like DOS version. This is like the cleaned up version of the graphics. It looks slightly better. And the audio too. It just is slightly better no matter what happens. All right, we're going to place one of these. Are you ready for the worst song in the game? Every time you place a park or anything in this menu, that song starts playing. I hate it. So get all of your parks out of the way while the song's still playing. Oh, I started a second time. Oh, it's awful. I hate it. Right, so we're still in 1900s. So we have like nothing for technology. You know, well honestly, I would say the day-night cycle looks really cool too. I do think like I'm biased because this was like the third or fourth game I ever played in my life. So like this version. So I'm very much biased to think that this is the best one, but I mean, I'm mostly at this point I'm biased that the other versions you can get on a PC now easily are awful. So yeah. So it's gonna be, oh geez, this is gonna suck. $27. $500. Yeah, yeah, and it's just nice. It's just like when you see it, it's like, wait, why don't the other versions have this? Like, why doesn't the Windows version at least have this? Because this is otherwise really similar to those. Isn't that the best rotation animation in the world? All right, so I'm trying to find a way I can do it. This is gonna look awful, but it's gonna be cheap. Believe it or not, that was a ton of money I just spent on those wires. Yeah, yeah, a little something like that. How deep is this? 150 step. Actually, you know what I could do? I could just do this. Also, the DOS menus are awful. The Windows version has fine menus. They work like a normal menu. Yeah. Also, very rarely, the game will start with one of these disabled in this version. Like one every like 20 or 30 times you start a new city. One of these, like this one, which is I believe shows structures. Yeah, this one or this one will be disabled. This one you can see. This one, if this is disabled, it'll look like this, where it's still just zoned, and you will not you'll wonder why. Why is nothing growing? And the answer is it is growing. The game just started with it disabled, so you couldn't see. Because fart on you. Well, I still have $9,000 somehow. So let's do this then. Where you build some of these doesn't matter at all. So like right here, what I kind of want to do, like I'm gonna plan it out. You can if you want just cheaply plan out with like power lines, but I think we can remember. So what I kind of think I think the road should basically start here, which is gonna leave. It should go into there. Let's presume this, that way the road would be just on the other side of where this is. So then there'd be two spaces, 2 acres on the other side of the road. So then this would be here. So I want it to be one. Oh, that almost works out perfectly. Let's do that. Yeah. And then that would be 2 in from it. Actually, let's pop down here because I'm presuming I'm going to work around this mountain as much as I can. Then we're going to want, it's because I have the money I'm doing this. If you're filling around with stuff at the start, you actually don't need these. But one day you will. This let's put like over here, just because you really want the police station to be close to the residential. Let's put it right here. Let's actually build the road for this. I guess we might as well zone it too, although we might be running a little bit low on power. Like the road would go about there, this would go about over here, you know. Yeah, a little something like this. Yeah, yeah. There we go. And it's kind of not an ideal shape because you really don't want residential and industrial to touch each other. Being diagonal, it's like we can probably get away with something like this where it's light residential diagonal from light industrial, but that still is like that makes me nervous to do that. Okay, and with that in mind, this is going to have to be commercial, and we're going to need more industrial than this. So why don't I just dip down here and like zone this area here as commercial, as industrial rather. Yeah, a little something like that. And we'll probably have to bulldoze through over here at some point because there's all this little extra bit of land there. But let's just pretend that I did a good job. Yeah, okay. I don't know how we have this much money. I remember the start not being this easy. Um, Hospital's kind of questionable this early, but we do have a lot of money still. So this is an investment that we're going to need to build this sooner or later. So I'm going to build this where someday I want it because it literally does not matter where your hospitals are. What matters is that they exist in general. Literally, I could literally if you have like the wind power, I recommend building it like on the far corner of the map with like one wind generator and one water pump next to it, just because it doesn't get in the way of anything then. But we're not starting in the 1950s, so we don't have wind power. Wind power was a mystery still in the year 1900. All right, so then the last thing to do before we start, well, I kind of want to do water. I kind of want to start getting some water flowing here. Probably we need like, oh, you really don't want to build water too close to residential. But we do have this over here. And fortunately, unlike later games, and this is actually something that this game is kind of weird about, it doesn't matter. There's no such thing as water pollution. So I can build this like right next to the industrial. Mostly the only thing that matters with this is it touching or diagonal from a water tile. So let's do like let's just grab these diagonal tiles because you know what else are we gonna do with them? Just do a little something like this. It is a good idea to build a water tower. Very unfortunately, the like tile for the water tower after the year 1950 looks super derpy. I don't know why they did what they did, and I curse them for it. That's probably not enough. Also, pro tip, turn the roads back on when you're here. Yeah, now I can say, well, I just want to run the main water lines under the roads, basically. Also, it's smart early on, although I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to try very hard to do this, to run it under the power lines also, because the buildings will only be built where there's electricity. So if you run it under the power lines, by definition, all buildings that get built will have water. These buildings don't need water. People will complain in the newspaper, but it won't matter. I guess I will water them up later anyway, but it just won't matter. It looks like we're already out of water, but we're still paused. Once you unpause, it'll like start to actually do something. Also, I kind of want to. Where did I put the box? There's the box. I kind of want to show something funny that's in the manual. Actually, I think this is in the Saturn manual. I don't exactly remember, but there's like basically the network traversal, like I mean like graph theory network for yeah, water it can be kind of difficult. Also, I very intentionally got a copy because I bought a new copy and I still have like my two old copies still in Alaska. But the manual to this is fantastic. Like, I just gotta say, if you're on Good Old Games, like, if you're gonna play this game, go download the manual PDF. It is legitimately just worth reading because it like starts with this like, yeah, it starts with like this passage from a book about urban development and stuff. Like, just everything about this is, it's really, really nice. There's this kind of funny thing, like there's kind of funny like tip about water though. I want to find it. I believe it's like I'm gonna tell you what I think it says, and I'm probably not gonna be able to find it. But I think it says like in the manual, you want to build your water like networks in a flushing motion. And the reason is that you want to build loops because otherwise it might not have good pathfinding to find its way to the end of the water network. So it might say, oh, you can't get here, even though it's right next to it. And sometimes when you're like right on the edge of not having enough water, that will fix it. Doesn't have it. Does not have it. Strategies. Hold on. Strategies. You want to keep watch the newspaper. All games are like that, unfortunately. Try to work with land instead of brute force to overpower it. You'll not only end up with a much more organic looking and feeling city, but you'll save a lot of money. I can't find it. Might not even be in this version. It might be in that might be from like another version that I played. But there's like it's like basically says it basically is admitting that the pathfinding for the water system is a little bit janky. So just build like extra interconnects so that there's a higher chance it'll know when something's within range or not. Which I just find funny now, where it's I find it funny now, but then again, when this game was made in the early 90s, most game developers weren't aware of like a star of pathfinding or anything like that. We or like the best they would have had the best like A-star existed then, but it was not used in games mostly. The best they probably would have had was like Discrez, which is not it ain't what you want. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go in here and set the tax rates. Early on, you want construction to be very high, solely because it's going to happen anyway. Really quickly, we're going to have to pull this back. And tourism, you kind of want to be low because we want to decrease the things that can be commercial boosters rather than industrial boosters early on. So I think that's good. Yeah. Right now, no one wants anything because no one lives here. Lastly, we need to set some of this up. You turn, let's take it to like 6 or something. And we're actually going to go in here and we're going to turn down the commercial, turn up the industrial early on. Ordinances, we're going to leave all of these. Oh yeah, you can hit L and R to get some of these have like really long descriptions and stuff. We're going to turn on free clinics. We're going to turn on those. Yeah. So like a lot of these things like CPR training, neighborhood watch, these kind of let you get away with not having things like like full-on hospitals and fire departments and stuff. I'm going to turn them on anyway, solely because I'm going to turn them on even though I built them, but I'm going to take the budget of all those things to the bottom. Nuclear free zone is free, and it ever so slightly makes people want to move there more. You just gotta have pollution controls on to play this game. You just have to have pollution controls on. There's no other possible way. So then these rates, this is the thing. Take these down first thing. Do not leave these. I guess like we'll put them all on 5 or something. Because we don't like we're so far under what these buildings can do that there's really no reason to have them properly running yet. But don't do this for Transit Authority or your roads will immediately fall apart. One kind of funny thing here actually, if we go here and we go to subway. Subways are busted in this game. They don't need any maintenance. When you build subways, turn this down to 0 and ignore the fact that the guy's like, you'll regret this, because with subways, you won't regret it. Okay, so I think we're good, but just with our neighbors. Newton, Fortune, and Cat's Corner. And the cat's in the corner. And the silver spoon. Yeah. We already did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's just plop down. Libraries are generally just a good thing to have because they will increase the education quotient of older Sims. Are they Sims in this version of the game? I don't know that they are. Your older residents, um, which is basically you want people to be as educated as possible in this game. as opposed to the later Sim cities where you need to like build as many ghettos as possible. Yeah, okay. And it does not matter where you put these. Just get put next to the school. Just do a little. You'll just do a tiny bit of RP, and then I'll start the horrible song again. 5,000 seems like way too much to be sitting on those, so we should probably. I kind of want to invest this, like, some of this back into. And I realize I'm doing all this before you've even unpaused the game once, but I kind of want to. Like how you start, like you have to be kind of careful with the starter. You'll just immediately fail the game. Let's build like four more of these, which is not even gonna be close, but close to how much money we have. But you kind of don't want to get stuck not having enough money for more power later on. Yeah, that's enough power that will definitely hold us for the start. I kind of don't think this is enough water generation for the start though, so let's get like just a little bit more of that down. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, let's finish up this square and then we'll hit play. Is that where I want? Yeah, that's what I want. I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want. I've made a horrible mistake. That's not the right size. Because the other one, right? Because this one's different. Thank you for the host. Just to double check, you're the streamer formerly known as How to Suck at Everything, right? Yeah, there we go. I forget there was some game you were playing that I like follow on Twitch, and that's how I like started watching. So it was like, oh, that game, which almost no one plays, but I don't remember which one it is. All right, let's just do. It's early on, so I think probably we're never filling up that much commercial. Let's just get like this down. But people couldn't pronounce that. Also, it seems kind of questionable given where trains are to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because I make questionable decisions. Fun fact. I guess actually, if we want to just waste the rest of our money, let's do this. Let's do it. Watch me just burn through all this cash. We're going to bleed it away. Just watch this. All of our money, all of this money, all this wonderful cushion I had in case I made some mistakes, in case I forgot something, up in smoke. Because choo choo, you son of a gun. Chew freaking chew. Yeah. Also, I put this in the wrong spot, but we're not going to fix it because I no longer have the money to fix it. I realized that that's not the direction I needed to build that. But you know what? I now lack the cash cushion to reasonably like fix my mistake. We never learn from our mistakes here. That's what makes us special. I'm gonna plop these down just because in a future age, when things get connected by buildings, this will make it flow slightly better. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have. So there are these wonderful diagnostic tools for like saying like how many titles of residential and commercial and industrial do I have in the city? You get them by having a higher population. You don't just get them. So I don't have those things. So I don't know if we're a little bit off balance or something not. I kind of feel like all right, we're gonna just plop down the last little bit of this as high density commercial. I'm gonna leave. No, we better not. I'll just connect it up like this. We're not really gonna need that much to the start, but this looks like visually using no analysis other than this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. All right, I'm unpausing. I might need to restart. They demand road and rail. They won't stand for it. There we go. I should zoom in. This game looks really nice. I really like the look of this game. Compared with the earlier and later SimCity games, this one just looks so nice. Release the citizens. The kombucha, mushroom people, sitting around all day. I don't know why. I love the look of this game. I also really like. I really like how this was. I think this was the last SimCity game that was immediately. Do you see that? This building got immediately abandoned. Come on, disk drive, you can do it. Okay. The Sega Saturn's disk drive, not doing so hot. So just that was a little reminder to me not to press the R button unless I really needed to. Yeah, a little something like that. Yeah, so the way crime works is that it emanates from industrial areas and it only matters when it hits residential areas. It kind of matters when it hits commercial areas because it lowers land value, but it doesn't matter. Like, that's the only problem that it causes. But when it hits residential areas, that affects the desirability of moving to the city as a whole. So that's why if you're going to put down a police station, just plop it down right in the middle of a residential area. Also, this is unfortunate. It's a church. You don't want churches. See how the background's orange? This is not a residential building. It can only be built on top of residential areas, but it itself is not residential. It does not add to your population in any way. Just the economics of churches is it's not there. So you have to get to 2,000, I think, to get the first milestone. And at that point, I'm going to actually flip on. Well, let's wait a little while beyond that. So we're in April. And wait, did we actually make money last year? We lost $2. Someone has been balancing the budget well. This could be like 2 people, 18 people. 18 people ride the train every day. Also, I'm so sorry, Sega Saturn. I need to stop doing that. As far as I know, also, the little swirling 3D buildings are only in the PlayStation and Sega Saturn versions. It doesn't even appear in the Windows version, which is weird. Unfortunately, that means that the Sega Saturn has to actually like read the disc. I'm kind of trying to avoid that because the disc reading on this Saturn is not the strongest. Oh, we almost had the train glitch where all the trains just get stuck together. Ultimately, if you run the city for long enough, you'll find all the trains are just jammed up and stopped and they don't move anymore. It doesn't actually do anything. The trains are just purely aesthetic. 2000. There we go. This could be an Olympic event in the year 2000. Red Star Awakens. Yeah, that's probably okay. If traffic's the worst thing that I got to complain about, that's fine. These percentages mean nothing. You look at the order and you say, is the top one really an issue? Yes or no? Traffic is not really an issue. Traffic's what they complain about when there's nothing really to complain about. So that means that like maybe we want to up our like school budget a tiny bit, but I think we're probably okay. Let's just pop in actually and see what the person says. It's probably is gonna like complain about not having any colleges, but we're gonna ignore that. All right, all right, fine. Take it up to 15. We don't need more funding. Just chill, wait a minute, see what happens. So already the trains are busted. Oh no, wait, they're not. Are they gonna make it? Now they're busted. Oh, this one's still hanging on. This one's still hanging on. These two, I don't know what causes this, but those two here are busted, and this last one is not broken yet. But one day it will be. One day it will just be stuck here and never moving back and forth. Oh, this one has a funny description, doesn't it? It says like industrial, yeah, industrial thingamajig. Also, wait a minute, what did that just say? Crime is medium. Okay, we need to turn up the police power. I don't like it. We need to forward this police to our effort. There we go. I can't justify spending more on police than on education. Although, actually, you know what? Just hire the police to like beat up the books. Oh, that was this thing here. I'm trying to avoid doing this too much, but that little spinny thing, as far as I know, you only get that in the Saturn and PlayStation versions of the game. Also, this has like a lot of ghosting on the graphics because I'm using a passive, just like Y cable, to run this to my television and to like my capture at once. I am using this. It's nice though because the Sega Saturn controller has like 8 buttons on it, so like there are buttons for like everything, and like you can like use the A button to like adjust the camera and stuff. It's not bad. It's not a problem. You gotta trust me. If you play the DOS version is actually harder to control than this because people hadn't figured out how like menus should work yet in the year 1992 or whatever. But yeah, it's not bad with the gamepad. A much bigger issue. Yeah, I know, and I'm a pleb for doing it. And the Saturn's funny. The Saturn actually has natively it will output. It has connectors on the outside for composite and for S video, and I'm running S video to capture and composite to my television. Internally, it doesn't output composite really. It just has like it basically has one of those like passive composite S video two-way converters built into the system, which also means that I once when I was streaming like Banjo Kazooie, and at the end of stream, I was like, wait a minute, how did this work? I had S video hooked up, and I don't have an S video cable for my Nintendo 64, and I realized that through my massive Y cables, this the signal was going from the Nintendo 64 into the Sega Saturn, getting passively converted because that's what it's inside it, and then I was capturing through that, and it looked okay somehow. Although actually, now that I'm thinking, I think that was the time where I was like, wow, the colors look awful in this game. They're so muted. What's going wrong? And the answer is you don't use a Sega Saturn to capture Nintendo 64. But yeah, yeah. But so that's also why though it doesn't like the Y cable is like the Y cables are for audio. Video is separate, but it basically is a Y cable. Basically, the video is hooked from my TV all the way through the inside of the Sega Saturn through the passive connector into the same S video that I'm capturing. So there's no isolation between the two. So that's a problem that I'm gonna just ignore, and we're just gonna get the weird ghosting. Like if you look at the like stuff in the up top, it's got weird ghosting on the UI. That's just the way it is. 100 to almost 200 people showed up, but we have 0 books. Also, I'm impressed that the Sega Saturn is able to load this quickly. The Sega Saturn is seen better days. I really wanted to get one of those Fenrir boards. Also, oh my God. Okay, we need to. I've been just chatting. I should just change the stream to just chatting. We need more residential. The RCI told me so. So this is not too scary because not be like this isn't too. Oh yeah, I forgot we have Mayor's Mansion, which I'm not gonna place just yet. The Mayor's Mansion tells you the mayor's mansion tells you what your approval rating is if you click on it. If your approval rating's too low at the end of a year, you stop being mayor. More likely, you're actually going to go bankrupt before that happens, though, is my experience. Yeah, I have that too for my PlayStation 2, and it's fine there because the PlayStation 2 is actually outputting them separately. Hello, La Croix. Oh, how do I want to build this? You just don't get reelected. It's happened to me like one time. Almost always what happens instead is you just run out of money. This could be a garbage little like intersection no matter what I do. I guess let's do like that. Yeah, that's not too offensive to the senses. Yeah. So like, I'm building like the barest minimum of what I want to be here. So it's hold on. I'm actually gonna we're gonna I wish that actually wait, are there hotkeys for this? What's this do? Oh, never press the X button. Never press the X button. I don't know what it's doing. Oh, this is markers. Hold on, you can set markers. That's not a useful thing for me to have done. Take me, yeah, what's this one? This one looks like it's right over here from where I want to be. What was L? Was L set marker? L seems to be nothing. Okay, I've used all the buttons. There is no hot button for this. Yeah, okay, this is what I wanted. I want to go up here and I want to see what's our zoning here because, oh, yeah, okay, so I don't want to have all of that high density all touching each other. Right now we have no demand for anything but residential. I don't really like putting only residential here, so I'm going to put down some commercial even though it won't do anything. Like this is not going to grow right now. I'm putting this down because in the future, it's not usually a good idea to have all one zone touching like that. That's probably like my laptop or my desktop with like there are many fans all running at once. That's probably what it is. It's almost certainly definitely coming from the stream. Like I want to be clear. There's no way it's not. What? Wait, what? Did you see that? Oh no, no, I know what it is. Hold on. Oh, I know what that is. Wait. So, do you see that? There were power poles and they disappeared. There shouldn't have been any power poles at all. That's not what I wanted. There shouldn't have been any power poles at all. This should have hidden them. What was that? That was so weird. Come on, Sega Saturn. Come on, baby, hold together. I need you to hold together just a little bit better than that. Also, do we just make money? That shocks me. That shocks me. I am shocked and horrified that we made like 100 and something dollars on our fourth year. That's really good. I guess Emily got the skills when it comes to this game. I did not expect to be making money this quickly. If we were in trouble, there is a trick you can do, which I will now describe because it doesn't look like we're going to need to do it. You take the tax rate, you put it down, you put it up to 20%, the maximum. You wait until almost all the houses are abandoned. You take it down to like 0%. And you watch them fill up, and you take it back up to 20. And it takes longer for people to get mad and leave because of high taxes. Yeah, they won't start the bulldozer unless you have. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The price in this, I think, To make this make sense, I think you have to add like at least like I feel like kind of 1,000 makes sense, kind of almost like if this is thousands of dollars, but yeah. So I need to start getting that train. Oh, it's gonna be so much money. Look at this. I built Detroit. I need to get that train over there too, where all that residential is, or I could just build residential near where the train is. It's probably a lot cheaper. Because I have this over here. Yeah. Let's see, what's the land value? That's pretty good. Above 100,000. I mean, actually, in this game, there is canon that you see if you play the Windows or DOS version. You are elected in this game, and I'm just saying, if your approval rating gets too low, you don't get reelected. You are elected in this game. I think this is the only one where you are elected. So we made money again. How are we making so much money? Let's go ask our advisors. I could up tax rate also, but this people don't like the tax man. It's taking a long time for those to pop up, and I'm suspecting it's because it has to load the images. No matter what this guy says, people boo him because he's the tax man, and it's funny. I think it's funny. I think there's gonna be no advice at this time, right? Yeah. I'm doing more city services than I really need to. I don't know if I believe that really, but let's pretend that it's true. Fire department, I probably could up. Yeah. Literally, you only really want to mess with the. Also, hold on. Let me fix something real quick. Um, switch the newspaper to subscription, and I'm so sorry, Sega Saturn. I'm so sorry for your CD drive. I just be strong, Sega Saturn. Be strong. I know you have what it takes. We're gonna get through this together. I can hear the weird raven sound it makes. I'm just gonna say, I have a strong suspicion that 99% of the people who worked on this game were men. I'm gonna say that knowing how software development worked in the 1990s, I have a strong suspicion that almost everyone who worked on this was a white guy. And there are women and people who aren't white in the advisors. So I think these are just like stock images that you have to remember, Maxis actually did other things other than games. Maxis also like did like simulation software and stuff. So like I suspect these were just the stock images they have. Like they have all these simulation games that were really just like simulation software that they were commissioned to make for companies and stuff. And like if you look at Sim Tower, it originally wasn't even a game. This has FMV. Also, why did it? Oh, I forgot you had to do something. I remember health was the worst issue, so we should up that. We really should. This version does have FMVs, but not for everything, which is good because that would just wreck my CD drive. Do I need to up grade school? Yeah, of course I do. Okay, we need to begin thinking about building a college. Colleges are expensive though. They cost like $1,000 to build a college. More like 1 million, really. Yeah, it's not impossible. We could well let's not touch that yet. I need to get our demand under control again though. And what that's going to look like is building some more residential. I think out here where we have public transport. Because this is like a wormhole that connects it to every other one of these. No loans, no loans, no loans. Loans are how you go bankrupt in this game. Doing a loan, it's not even a loan, it's a bond. You float a bond. Do not float a bond in this game. Never float a bond in this game. Floating a bond in this game, that's how you go bankrupt. That's how you immediately go bankrupt in this game. I like the pictures in this game. I grew up with this though, so like I'm biased. Oh yeah, every April and every August we have a newspaper now. I'm so sorry, Sega Saturn. I need to turn that off, I think. Okay, this is good. Traffic is a real issue. They will. They're not yet. In this version, they actually do. In this version, actually, 1950, it changes tile sets to show like a more modern style. I need to not cook the Sega Saturn this badly. It's turn off subscription. We'll just have to remember. Just I need to be reminded to like just check to see if my services are keeping up with the task or not. But I need to not cook the Sega Saturn. They need to go easy on it. Someday I will dish out the $150 for the little board that goes in there that replaces the disk drive with like an SD card. That looks. Oh, I thought officers was crimes reported, and I'm like, how did you make 41 arrests with only 39 crimes? This is this is this is police corruption. Hold on. We can actually ask. This is the most important menu in the game. Hello menu. Where to crime at? It's really bad over here. Oh my goodness. I know. We're playing a very. This is a weird mod, I gotta say. Crime's real bad. Our police power isn't. We aren't at full power, but we're never gonna catch there. So I feel like probably the next thing to do is to build a police station over here, especially because that'll open us up to having like residential up against the river, and the closer you are to water, the more money. We need more public transport though. I need to get trains down here too. How is our money situation? Pretty good. Uh, Ignore the despair music. It's pretty good. Despite hold on. It's totally random which song it plays when you go in here. So, we're doing pretty good. Right. So we're gonna make $144. Yeah, it's better now. I fixed it. I fixed it. It's completely random which music it plays. I used to think that it meant something. You just need to like accept that it means nothing. Let's actually go in here real quick. Let's turn down. This will increase demand. Oh yes, here we go. I'm going to actually swap this because just being a terrible person. I forget how. Hello, Sean. I forgot how to pronounce your. I forgot how to pronounce your username. Uh, so we have really high demand for residential and really low demand for industrial. I can turn down the tax on industrial, and that will in fact make people want to. That's the only thing I could remember, and I don't even remember if that's actually the right name or not. Um, but that will make more people want to move their industry here. You can basically fight the fact that it's unbalanced by fiddling with the tax rate, where it's 70%, pretty normal. That's pretty normal for where we're at right now. We're still sort of getting up and running here. Yeah, so look at this. Do you see that? You can actively see the abandoned buildings unabandoning a little bit. I didn't really change it that much. Oh yeah, so look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Just fiddle with the tax rate a little bit, you know. This is government meddling, okay? We need to. This will actually make us money also. Would it? Did I? Oh yeah, just leave that at 6. They'll actually make us money because what that will do. Early on you have to have it high. You have to have it like above 5% early on, or else you just won't make money. You'll go bankrupt as a city. Um, But yeah, this will actually make the city money, even though I lowered tax rate because abandoned buildings generate zero tax income. It's better if they generate 5% instead of, it's better that they're mostly full and generate 5%. This right here, this is a problem. That's oh, that's good because otherwise, like, it's horrible. The default settings on like every version that they released are just awful. So right now I'm kind of just waiting until I can build. If we check here, so the thing is, like, it actually matters not at all that there's a high crime rate here. Nobody cares. Crime rate has an effect on commercial in that it lowers land value. I think somehow the crime is highly localized in this one area, though. It affects land value only in commercial. It affects like whole city desirability once it hits residential. Smartly, I put the police station in between the industrial and residential, so I actually kind of want to up the police department. I'm sure he's gonna say, "Oh, it's fine." If he would ever talk to me, he'd say it's fine. Sega Saturn, I need you to. I'm sorry, Sega Saturn. I know I'm working you hard. You've been working hard, and I know you're tired. I need Sega Saturn to survive. Yeah, this doesn't even have a name. It's an industrial thingamajig. I'm 99% certain that this is a front for a drug running operation. I'm just gonna go out there, go out on a limb. They don't even. They're like, yeah, the industrial thingamajig. Yeah, that's God. That's 100%. That's what's happening here. I don't even know. I don't even know how. Let's just call a spade a spade. So what happens when you reduce taxes on industry? I'm not used to the early 1900s tile set either. It's fine. It's fine. Look, it's fine. No one cares. See, nobody cares. We're gonna get discrete error sooner or later, and then that's gonna be the end of this game. It's not making the Raven sound, it's making the chugging sound. Okay, that's the end of this game, I think. I'm so sorry, Sega Saturn. I'm sorry I pushed you too hard. Well, fart on it. If it's gonna be like that, we're gonna do it worse. We're gonna done do you like that old oh, it's really bad. It's frozen up. Oh no, we're here. Okay. Fine, if you're gonna be like that. Oh, it's really mad. Oh, it's really mad. Sega Saturn, are you okay? Is everything okay? Ooh. Sega Saturn's not happy. Sega Saturn, be a team player. My camera's not happy either. What the heck? It's not the disc, it's the Saturn. I had hoped I didn't realize that it did disc read every time you did info or went into a menu. I thought it was only when you did the newspaper. So that's unfortunate. It's real bad. You know what? If you want to. Oh, Hulk, you just turn it up to 10. Let's just turn it up to 110. You think the Sega Saturn was mad before? Oh, it won't even load this disc. That's how mad it is. This might be the end of my Sega Saturn. You might be witnessing its final moments. Well, so the last time I did Sega Saturn, I was playing Bug 2. I played for like 2 hours, and then it had an unrecoverable disk error. I tried to start it up just to see, and it wouldn't even start the game. It's not loading. Bye, Saturn. Yeah, no. That's the end of this disk drive, which is unfortunate. I think a part of the problem is I have a Gen 1 Sega Saturn, and the Gen 2 Sega Saturns live a lot longer. Just pop that disk drive right open. Just calm down, Sega Saturn. Just calm down. My camera doesn't like it when I bump the cable. And who can blame it, really? I don't have the stuff to do that. Oh. This is all the Sega Saturn can do now. This is it. This is built into the ROM. Um, Almost all my memories of like listening to music when I was a kid was like putting a CD into the Sega Saturn and then watching this screen while it played. And I remember my mother would put like John Denver, and so I'd listen to like there's like an album that's only John Denver songs about trains. And so I distinctly remember there was like one greatest hits and one train album of John Denver, and it would be like this screensaver. Like I had a weird childhood. The thing is though, like this is not my childhood Sega Saturn. This is a Sega Saturn that someone sent me in exchange for me writing a Twitch bot for them. And my childhood Sega Saturn's a Model 2 Sega Saturn. The last time I was in Alaska, I decided just for curiosity to test loading times on my Model 2 Sega Saturn compared to my Model 1 Sega Saturn. Because I used to be Clockwork Knight speedrunner, and I used to have world record, but no longer because someone who actually knows what they're doing. This is not Factorio. I was trying to play SimCity 2000, and then and then my Sega Saturn finally said it's done reading discs for life. The disk drive is 26 years old, and that's like 126 in human years. Yeah. But I was telling a story before that. Oh yeah, so I timed how long it took for Clockwork Knight 1 levels to load. It takes like 15 seconds on this Sega Saturn. This is a Generation 1 Sega Saturn. The Generation 2 Sega Saturn from my childhood took 10 seconds. And I know it's not just this one being slow. This one does occasionally, well, it did back when it worked. It would really occasionally take like 30 to 40 seconds to load a level, but not often. But like at this point, I've had other people submit Clockwork 1 speedruns, and it takes like 15 seconds for all of them. Everyone must be running on Gen 1 Sega Saturns, because my childhood Gen 2 Sega Saturn 1 has never had a disc read error, despite me putting thousands of hours on that thing, because that's like, I played that thing all through my childhood, not as much in middle school, but a lot in high school, then a ton in college. Like, that's thousands of hours of games like this. I used to play a lot of FMV games on it. Those are have got to be hard on the disc reading, yeah, like on the disc drive. And on top of that, the Gen 2 Saturn just actually loads faster. So I should just chill. It's like 120 bucks for a Saturn now, though. Like, this is why when people start like talking about graded video games, I just want them to GTFO with that. This is not. That's what ruins the hobby. That's what literally ruins the hobby. But something cool you can do with the Sega Set. Actually, this might work. The Sega Saturn is a lot happier to load discs if it's a lot happier to load CDs than actual games. And like even a really busted Sega Saturn CD drive will usually be able to play music even if it can't play games anymore. Is Paul here? And by that I mean let's just see, does that work? Can I play the Hello is Paul There song? Looks like the answer is maybe. Wow, this sounds weird. It's not going to work, no. Okay, it broke. You know what? All right. All right, who wants to play actual Factorio instead because this doesn't work anymore? Goodbye Sega Saturn. I should just pay the $150 for like an SD cardboard for this thing. Put music on. I tried. The Sega Saturn won't play it. I mean, it played one song. Hold on. That's the only way to play music. You just put it in a Sega Saturn, and that's the only way it works. Also, 100% of my stream like notification sounds come from just the Sega Saturn sounds. They're just the Sega Saturn sounds. All right, we're switching over to Factorio. Also, I know my camera's busted. Sega Saturn it's no more. I should just get the SD cardboard. SD cardboard, yeah, exactly. Well, it's a board with an SD card on it, so it is, I guess, an SD cardboard. Goodbye, Sega Saturn. You tried, but you didn't really try hard enough when you think about it. Okay. Sega Sanshiro. Rest in peace, my friend. I'm gonna have to take stream down and then bring it back up really quick. Be right back. LOL.